Hello. How's everybody? If you're watching, view counter says no one's watching. That's okay. You can see this later. It's not going anywhere. It'll be on YouTube. Hello, everybody. This is Brad. Welcome to The Bad Show, which I've now been able to do, like the last 3 or 4 weeks in a row? I had to do it a day late last week because I was busy. But here it is. And I slept in this morning. I woke up really early. I was like, I'll be all right. I'll just stay up. I'll be okay. And then I fell back asleep and lost daylight because of course I did. But anyway, a lot of gaming stuff to talk about. A couple of things that I've seen, that I thought were worth mentioning. Some of which I know a little bit about, some I don't. But I guess we can just get right on into the nitty-gritty and start talking about, as I have decided to make my opener anytime there's going to be news on it, Fortnite, of course, because I'm obsessed with this game now. We had a big Fortnite update for week 3 of the current Battle Pass. The update brought in Stark Industries, Tony Stark, to the map. A big chunk of the map was basically just had this whole location, from what I've seen, taken straight out of like the Marvel, cinematic universe movies and replicated in Fortnite. So this is a big area. It's been added, and as you would probably expect, you can find Iron Man, Tony Stark, in his place of business. And if you can defeat him, you get his gauntlets and his unibeam attack. Just like Doctor Doom in that area. I can't remember what it's called. Doom's Domain, that's what it's called. So if you can defeat Iron Man, you get his abilities. And that's actually a current mission for week 3, where you are supposed to kill him 3 times to get 50,000 experience, just like Doctor Doom. I have yet to even kill him once. Tried for 2 days. Yesterday, I actually did manage to get his abilities once, because these abilities are incredibly overpowered, and and it's pretty crazy. Hey, we got a viewer. What's up? Those abilities are incredibly overpowered, just like Doctor Doom's, and of course, that's what most people flock to the minute you load into a game. So I got him. I thought I killed him, and had at least gotten one, because the challenge is to kill him 3 different times, which of course you have to do in 3 different games, but that's fine. But when you've got 20 different people, 25 different people, it feels like, all trying to land in the same location and storm the same building, which is also not only is Iron Man, there attacking you, because he's sort of like he's a map boss, I guess, as they refer to. I don't know what they really call him. But so not only is Iron Man in there, not only like 20 to 25, who knows how many players are actually in there trying to get his weapons and take him down along with you, but there's also Stark robots all over that building. So literally landing at the Stark Industries building is a war zone. And a lot of it is luck. If you can get in there and not come across anybody, it's just it's a fight. And so in a way, if you do get these overpowered weapons, you've kind of earned them, because it's very hard to do. Like I said, I only managed to get a hold of his weapons once out of 2 days. And I had a similar problem with Doctor Doom. At least I was able to... it took me an entire day to kill Doom 3 times to get that mission taken care of. So far, no luck on Iron Man. I thought I got him, but it looks like somebody picked him off at the last minute. So even though I did a lot of the damage, somebody came in and took that for me. But I did manage to get his weapon. But anyway, that's fun. It's a fun little addition. Another addition that came along with it is apparently the addition of some more map bosses known as I think it's pronounced gorgers, that are supposed to be like little robots that, or not little robots, but they're fairly big robots that come down. It's like a drone from Galactus, and they're pretty strong. Um, they appear randomly across the map. You never know like where they're gonna show up or when, because I think it's not consistent. But it takes a while to defeat them. I only managed to start like the first day this came out. I never saw one, but the second day, I spent a lot of time trying to I'm trying to finish the battle pass as quick as I can because I want to get all the skins because I'm a big fan of these skins that they've added, all the Marvel characters, and plus I'm using them for other things. But the thing is this this boss, it's fairly stationary. It doesn't move a lot, but it's one big drone that sends out little drones that attack you, and they can do some pretty decent damage. I only managed to encounter like 2 or 3 of them yesterday or the day before, whichever day it was. And I only managed to take out one. And the way I managed to take it out was to get one of the motorboats that comes with the rocket launcher and to sit at a distance and just shoot rocket after rocket at the thing. Now once it notices you, of course, it sends out the little drones, and if you're careful, you can knock down some of the little drones, and either they'll explode or they'll stall for a bit and build up to an explosion. If you're fast enough to go pick up the one that doesn't explode right away, you can actually use it temporarily to shoot back at the Gorger. So that's a cool little thing. It does help. I can't remember. It's like after a minute or something like that, maybe after 30 seconds or so, you drop it and it does finally explode. But having that little boost of to turn the Gorger's own little drones back on it is a pretty cool little feature. But yeah, this is a pretty exciting update for the game. Very active. The last 2 seasons that I was part of, because I only came in Chapter 2, Season 2. This is the most active that it's been, and apparently from what I've seen, in a long time, even before I was playing. So this is a big moment for Fortnite, and I suppose it should be, considering the legal battle going on. But a lot of headbutting going on there, and I'm not going to get into that today because I don't really think there's much more to report on that. It's just 2 big companies butting heads over money. That's ultimately what it is. But another part of the update for this update 14.10, 14.10, however people audibly say that, is the Boundless skin set, which allows you to customize your own original superhero. Now, I have a mixed opinion on this. Now, this was going around before it officially came into the shop, and the way I read it was that you get like 1 or 2 skins, and you can customize them, any way you want. The problem with that is it's actually like 10 skins, and they all have, their own customization, and they're all, you can do a lot with them. It's like 5 different male skins and 5 different female skins. And like, each skin, I think, is supposed to represent a certain ethnicity, per gender or whatever their thing is there. And I get that it's supposed to be, it's supposed to give you a chance to, what I'm assuming is, buy a skin that that is the most accurate to how you want to represent yourself. Well, me, I like playing with character customization and stuff like that, and being able to customize characters freely, or as freely as possible. But I don't like the fact that they made this, and that instead of it just being like, okay, here's a one male skin, you can alter it in all these different ways, and here's a female skin, you alter it however you want. Instead of it being that, they expanded it to 10 skins, and each skin is worth cost 1,800 V bucks. That's a lot of V bucks if you want to buy all of these. It's a lot. And I guess for me, like I said, I like playing around with character customization. So my desire for this is that I would like to be able to own all of the skins so I can play around with them and make multiple characters. Because to me, like, yeah, okay, you want to imagine yourself as a superhero. Okay, I get that. And then trying to think back, the fact that this is a very popular game with kids, of course, that would be the main thing. But for somebody like me, who just enjoys good character customization, I like to have multiple options to be able to play with. So I don't like that they did it that way. And I understand why. Like I said, if the purpose of this is for people to represent themselves, then of course, you wouldn't need, to have them all bundled together. But it's also, it's of course it's about money, and the hardcore fans who've got the extra V bucks, of course, will buy all of them. But I just don't like this. Otherwise the customizations are all. It's really cool. It's a really cool feature. I've looked through all of them and seen, like, I think each specific skin gets like 3 different hair styles you can pick from. It comes with like 6, 7, 8 different like outfit patterns that you can change. It's like a primary and a secondary color that you can choose for your skin. I've seen some people like try to create their own versions of like Spider-Man, and I saw Elastigirl from The Incredibles. Somebody made Spawn. I mean, a lot of characters, like, and they're not, of course, accurate. That's character customization, and you're never going to get something 100% accurate. But some of them, like, people did a really good job with. And of course, a lot of these characters, and I won't say that in Marvel's case because we never know how this is going to end with Marvel. Excuse me, but like Spawn, I can't see Spawn being added to this. I won't say it wouldn't happen. I mean, we've already got DC and Marvel characters in this thing. We know that apparently, it's now apparently confirmed that both Black Panther and Venom will be in the game at some point. So who knows? Maybe somebody could make Spawn a playable, skin in this game at some point. Could happen. Maybe it won't happen. That's pure speculation. But it's a cool feature. I just wish they had done it in a way that, wasn't so expensive. But yeah, if you've got the extra V bucks, I think it would be fun to have. But like I said, I don't think that this is a feature that's meant to necessarily. It's not. It's more for the people who want to represent themselves. And that uses character customization to create, virtual versions of themselves, versus people like me who like coming up with character concepts and stuff like that. So that's my problem with it. And it's not really a problem. It's not a problem, I guess. It's not like a real problem, I guess. It's just, I wish I could get them all. Let me put it that way. But otherwise, I like this. I like the idea, and I'm glad it's in there. So let's get away from Fortnite now and talk about some different games. I think it was last week I saw a promo trailer for a game that was being added. I think it was from Nintendo, but it's actually on all the platforms. So it was a trailer for the game Spellbreak, which the art style in the trailer looked really cool. And it's a battle royale game, like kind of like Fortnite, of course. So I wanted to check it out, and so I downloaded it for on the Xbox, checked it out. It's pretty fun, and I actually won the very first round I played of it. Then I had some bad luck after that, but hey, to drop into a game, a battle royale game, and you win the very first round that you play, it makes you feel good. But so the deal with this game is, of course, battle royale rules. You're dropped into a map. It's a pretty big map too, of 50 players. Fortnite it's 100. Spellbreak it's 50. And you have one. It's a fight with magic, and it's elemental spells. So you get, I think it's fire, water, earth, air, electricity, and then poison, if I remember that, or acid or something like that. I think it's poison. Anyway, before each match, you pick one of those 6 elements, and you're automatically given a common gauntlet to cast your primary spell. But once you drop into the map, you can pick up a second gauntlet and you can create combo attacks, or just you'll have 2 elements to use, and certain elements you can use in combo attacks. Like I think what was it? There's one that they used in the demo or the tutorial. I think it's like you use the poison fog. Like you get a regular like range attack, and then you get like a stronger, like closer range attack. You can use the close range acid to create like a toxic cloud, but then if you throw an electric attack at the cloud, it creates like a electric ball of death or something like that. So it's a cool concept that allows you, you wield 2 different elements, and then you start out with one, you get a second one, and then you can upgrade things like you pick up health and shield. You can upgrade your stats and like how fast you move. It gives you a little bit of a speed boost. And although one thing I thought was strange is that you have to pick up a gear belt in order to use your shield restorer. Now you don't need that for health, but if you want shield, you got to have a belt. So you got to search the map for chests and things like that to give you that special equip, just so you can have a shield. The map itself and the art style of the game is very good. The map looks to me like it was very much inspired by Breath of the Wild's Hyrule overworld. That's the sense I got while looking, like walking around in the map and, playing the game. And it's very cool. Like, I'm trying to think of a good way to put this. Like, give me a minute. Let me figure out my words. The game, the actual controls are a little shaky, just a little bit wonky. It's not terrible though. Like, I enjoyed playing the game. It didn't really confuse me. It didn't take me long to really, to get a hang of the controls. But also, like when I'm in these battle royale games, if I, if I run into somebody, I tend to, kind of stress out a little bit, and sometimes I start panicking. It's like, oh no, what do I do? Where'd they go? Especially in that game where, in Spellbreak, you can get like one of your default moves is a spell that lets you sort of levitate for a short period for a big jump. And so you can move around a lot on that map. It's very easy to lose track of your opponent unless you're used to, you got to have a good eye. Like in Fortnite, characters you can jump, but usually not that high without the assist of an item or something like that. And so once you see an opponent, it's not, unless they're at a distance, it's not, you usually won't lose track of them. Unless they're like right up in your face and they start jumping around, but that's the camera angle and all that stuff. But anyway, I just wanted to talk about this. It's free to play. You can. It's got a very small item shop, but you can get skins in it too. The default skin I have it's all right, but like I don't know if you can see the artwork, but like the like hooded girl here in like the foreground in that art that I used, she's got like red hair and she's wearing like this green cloak. It's a really cool looking design. I don't know I don't know anything about these. I assume they're all. Well, I would guess they'd have to be original characters. At least this is a brand new game. But anyway, this is a new game. It's very new. I think it went live. This for the official release was just on the 3rd, so a week and a half ago. Less than that. Today's the 12th. Which, by the way, I guess apparently today is National Video Games Day. I did not know that. I saw people tweeting about it this morning. So happy National Video Games Day, because I am terrible at keeping up with stuff. But anyway, check out Spellbreak. It's pretty fun. Another game that I saw the trailer for, which I think was just 2 days ago. I don't know much about this game. I don't think it's out yet, but I could be wrong. Is Immortals Phoenix Rising. I think that's a new game, though. Now, again, like the art style, it's like you battle as this warrior who challenges, it looks like mythical creatures, because I saw the character taking on a minotaur and then like Medusa. So it looks like this is a game where you will play as a hero who fights mythological characters and creatures and monsters. But the art style really, stood out to me, and it looks like it could be a pretty fun game. I don't really have much else to say about this because I don't know really anything about it other than I just wanted to say, hey, this looks like a cool game. The trailer looked cool. It got me interested. And, just being able to spread, a little bit of awareness for games that I think might be worth checking out. Just to try to help things along. I don't know. I did see a few other people talking about it, but not many. I think this was from Nintendo too. I think that's where I saw this trailer. I'll have to do more research on this, but I did want to just mention it briefly. So that was some good news regarding games as far as new games coming up. But there's one game, there's some other games out there that had some bad news. And there'll be some more good news later. But let's take a break from the good news, talk about the bad. No More Heroes 3 has been delayed until possibly next year. Of course, we all know why. We know that the gaming industry is taking a hit over the coronavirus, and it's sad for a lot of reasons. It's like obviously people's health is more important than a video game, obviously. And the first thing people should do is take care of themselves and, take care of their families and all that stuff. And to do things as safely as possible so that, people don't die. The death counts just continue to grow and it's not slowing down, at least here. But, it is disappointing to see this, because this is a game I started playing No More Heroes earlier this year. I'm about halfway through with it. I haven't been back to it in a while just because I've been too busy doing other games. But I've really liked the game, the first No More Heroes, as I'm playing it. I still think that Travis needs to be a character in Smash Bros. But it is sad to hear that the game had to be delayed. But that's just life. Sometimes things happen and you just have to adapt to it. And it sucks and there's nothing you can really do about it. But I would rather them delay the game than to, rush to get it out. So, hopefully old Travis will be back. And I think they said they're aiming for a 2021 release. I don't know if that's like I don't know how far they're into development and if that's possible or not. Hopefully, hopefully they can get this game out there to people at some point, which I'm sure they will. It's just got to find the best way to work in these situations. So hopefully we'll see El Travis next year. If not, we'll see him in 2020. But sometimes you just got to take what life dishes you out. Um, some more bad news, although I don't know if this is less of a forced situation and more of it just seems like a choice. We learned that Kingdom Hearts is not coming to the Switch. Apparently, they have no desire to bring the Kingdom Hearts games to the Switch. Like, that surprises me. It really does. And I hope you'll enjoy this picture of Sora crying as I reveal that, talk about that news. Not really revealing the news. I didn't reveal the news. But yeah, I can't believe that. Like, I thought the Melody of Memories thing was supposed to be like the dipping your toes in the water for Kingdom Hearts to come to the Switch, and I thought that was a sure thing. Like, of course the Switch is like super popular. Of course they're gonna bring Kingdom Hearts over. Like, why wouldn't they want to? But apparently they just don't want to. That's crazy, man. I don't get it. I don't get, like, why would you not want to bring this game over? It's just weird to me that's. I guess I don't really know what else to add to that other than I don't understand it. And just like Travis, I still think Sora would be a great addition to Super Smash Brothers. And I'm still partially, like, in a lot of ways, I think that Sora and Travis, like, are very similar into how you would prepare for their or how you would advertise their inclusion in Smash. Of course, Travis comes to Smash. It's a great, advertisement for No More Heroes. There was a rumor that No More Heroes had been, the original No More Heroes had been rated for the Switch in, I can't remember where, don't remember where, but there was some service, something like that, rated No More Heroes for the Switch. Of course, that's a Wii game. So, the, that would suggest that the original No More Heroes, possibly No More Heroes 2, would be coming to the Switch as ports. I would welcome that. And then with 3 coming out, or originally was going to come out this year, having Travis be a character in Smash would be a great, it would be a cool addition to Smash, which would help Smash, and being in Smash would help No More Heroes. So I feel the same way about Kingdom Hearts, where, the Melody of Memories coming to the Switch. I thought that was like sort of like a tease, like, oh, we're going to get Kingdom Hearts at some point. Like, okay, that makes sense. And then, of course, add to that Sora and Smash. Like, of course, the perfect cross promotion. Sora in Smash is good for Nintendo, and it's good for Disney and Square. And bringing the Kingdom Hearts games to the Switch is also good for Nintendo and Disney and Square. So I don't understand why they wouldn't want to do that. And it's just decisions like this, just like I said, make me scratch my head. It just seems like such an easy way to satisfy your customers and fans of the game, who I'm sure plenty of people out there who've already paid for Kingdom Hearts on like their Xbox or whatever, or in their PlayStation 4s, would, if they could make it a portable game on their Switch, would probably buy at least one or two of the collection. I don't know if just, or at least some of them may want to buy the new one. Some of them may want to buy the games that they didn't get to play before. I mean, there was a game, like, remember Chain of Memories was a Game Boy game. I mean, Nintendo could work with Square, I guess, to and Disney to put that on the virtual shop. Charge people $5 for an old GameCube game. I know they remade it, and they remade it for the PS2. Still, that's not the game the Game Boy version. But anyway, sad to think that Sora and company won't be joining us on the Switch. Seems like that was a no-brainer to me, but what can you do? Anyway, I guess some more positive news for people, and I'll admit that I don't know a lot about this next game, but apparently it's a big deal. The Scott Pilgrim game is coming back, digital. Apparently there was a desire to have a physical version of the game made. I guess that's not happening because I saw some people say that they were disappointed. But this game has apparently been unavailable for a long time, and now it won't be, and it's the complete edition. I don't really know what that means because I've never played this game. I don't really know much about Scott Pilgrim. I know there's a movie, but I'm happy for people that like this, and I might give the game a try. I know plenty of people talk about it, so I'm gonna keep my eye on this and see what the deal is with it. This was apparently announced during what was it, an Ubisoft event. So, which I didn't watch. I'll admit it. I didn't watch the Ubisoft event. I think there's I think they just announced today there's another PlayStation event coming. And there's another Nintendo event coming that I will talk about at the end of this. This will be the last topic I cover. But it's not a big Nintendo event, but it is specifically about one game. And I haven't made it there yet. So Scott Pilgrim's back. Hooray for those of you interested in that. I'm sure you're happy. But another game franchise is returning in the form of a remake. The Prince of Persia games. The Sands of Time is getting a remake. That sounds interesting. I was vaguely I kind of want to check this game series out, but I just haven't. Sort of like I have a Switch copy of Assassin's Creed 3 that I haven't opened up yet, just because I haven't. I want to play it, but I also kind of want to play other stuff more. But this franchise has kind of interested me, and I just have never taken the time to check it out and look into it. But, remakes are cool. I don't know enough about Prince of Persia. I know people were excited. I don't know enough about the game or anything like that to really say oh, I'm so excited for this. But it's a cool thing that's happening. And hopefully it can get my hopefully if I see more stuff from this and see exactly what this whole franchise is about, then it'll be something that I want to play. But anyway, it's cool looking. I just don't know much about it. But this announcement happened, so there you go. Happy for everybody who was hoping this would happen. But I would say the biggest news. Well, I don't know about the biggest. Well, yeah, it probably is the biggest news, because we've been waiting forever to find these out. But the new Xbox Series S and X prices have finally been revealed. The Series X leaked a little bit ahead of time, and if you can see the picture through the here, this is a very tiny Xbox. It's very tiny. I actually think it looks kind of cool. And the Series S, this is that's the S one that's on the screen. I like this better than the big brick of lead that they originally revealed. You remember that episode of SpongeBob where they talk about the employee of the month, and SpongeBob says a experienced employee of the month always keeps a brick of lead in his hat. That brick of lead from SpongeBob is what the new Xbox Series X looks like. But this actually looks really cool. I'm surprised it's so small. But I think smaller consoles are more appealing to people. The Series S, though the Series X, I'll talk about that one because that was the one I'm least interested in, at least right now. Uh, Series X is $499, $500, I think. And now I'm not sure. Let me check that because I don't want to. I don't want to be wrong on that. What is the price? Oh, wonderful internet. Tell me what the price of the Xbox Series X is. I'm thinking it's 500. I want to say that. Yeah, okay. $499. Yeah, I was right. $499 for the Series X, the brick of lead, which I think took people by surprise. They weren't expecting it to be. I guess that I think that's like sort of like, isn't that what all the Xboxes usually are? Or at least that was what the Xbox One was when it first came out. Was 500. But I think the expectation though is like, especially with the S. Let me talk about the S. The S's price really got people like, wow, really? It's $299, $300. People are like, wow, I can't believe it's that cheap. Apparently, though, the concern is that the prices of games are going to go up for the next gen. So instead of $60 games as the standard, it's going to be $70. And the idea, I guess, is to make up the difference. And like, okay, we'll give people a cheaper console, but we'll charge more for the games. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. Because $60 is a good bit of money. But also, not every game is going to be, if they do up it, not every game is going to be $70. But I don't like the idea of paying $70 for every single game, or a big game that people are going to want. But I don't know. But I will say that the Series S being $300, that's a good price for a gaming console, especially for this is, going to be the next gen. I mean, which of course the whole appeal of next gen is, oh, our graphics are going to look so much more realistic. Now you can get 120 frames per second. I'm like, okay, it's great, whatever. The games look more real, or whatever you want to tell people. Like, I don't care how real a game looks. Just make a game good. Make it fun. I mean, it's just, I don't get it. But anyway, I wanted to talk about that. I'm actually interested in the Series X because of its cheap price, but I do hope that they don't up the standard price of games again. I hope they don't. 60 seems like a solid price for a game. It's still a good. $60 is a pretty penny to pay for a single video game. I get that, and then you get DLC and stuff. Like, think about the fact that you like Smash Brothers. I know this is Nintendo, but Smash Brothers is $60, and then the passes are like $25 a piece. Maybe what is it? Yeah, I think it's $25 a piece for the entire battle pass. For both of them, I think, and that's over $100 for this game if you want the complete version of the game. So I don't know. But I do think that the digital Xbox there, the Series S, 300 is a good price. The 500 is not a bad price either for the X, the Series X. But it may come at the price of more expensive games. So I don't know. It depends. I guess it depends on your view of whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. But anyway, speaking of consoles, apparently there's been a report out that Nintendo is asking their developers to make all future games going forward to be compatible in or to work in 4K. I saw people discussing that. So it looks like we will be getting a Switch Pro next year, or some sort of deluxe Switch, just a new Switch system that will feature higher definition graphics and I guess performance that would go along with that. I would assume this will be a Switch that is not portable. But then again, they may make one that is portable because that's the whole. Well, I take that back. The Switch Lite is not. The Switch Lite is not. You can't put the Switch Lite on a dock. It's strictly portable. So I guess it would make sense that if you had one, like the whole point of like the Switch is you're supposed to be able to switch the gameplay up, how you play the game. You can set it on the dock and play it on your TV, or you can switch things up and make it portable and take it with you. Or you can set the Switch like put the kickstand on the Switch down and on a table and take the Joy-Cons off the side and play that way. So that's the whole reason for the name of the system in the first place, is that you can switch up the way you play. But the Switch Lite, you can't do that. Although I do think you can hook something up to the Switch. You can play it with a controller. I may be wrong on that. But, so if there is a deluxe Switch that comes out that is, dock only or whatever, you can only play on your TV, then that would make sense, I guess. And for people who want to play their Switch games in, higher resolution or in 4K, then that will be something that they want. I don't know that that would be something that, I would deem to be very important to me personally. But I don't know. For me, gaming isn't about how realistic the graphics look or even how high definition the graphics look. That stuff, it's not important to me so as much as is the gameplay fun? Are the characters interesting? Does the story interest me? Does this, fictional universe have something in it that can grab my attention? That's what I want in a game. But, but some people value the graphics. So this will be for them. No clue what that is yet. And I think the PS5's price hasn't been revealed yet either. So, who knows? But I guess now we can move on to the true big topic that has been going around. And that is, but before I will talk about this, I don't have an image for it because I ran out, because I just thought about it. Apparently, Super Mario 3D All Stars is selling out very quickly, faster than anticipated. So people trying to get their hands on a physical copy of the game are finding it very, very difficult. I don't like that. I talked about this last week. I don't like the forced, scarcity of the game. I just think it's not done in good. It's not done in good faith. They did this with the NES Minis, and they only made a few, or they only supplied a few out there, and it created a tremendous demand. And they didn't have to. There was already evidence out there that a lot of people wanted this system, and they just deliberately chose not to do it to keep people like, oh, we gotta buy it. It's to keep people, it's a forced justification to charge the prices that they want to charge. They want to make these things expensive, and they want to justify it by intentionally making it hard to find. Now, you have, like, if you know that there are millions of people who want this product and you only make a handful, then it's just not right. So that's what they're doing with the Mario collection. I don't like it. I want the physical copy because I do love Mario and I do love those games. But I'm probably going to have to resolve myself to just having the digital version. I am still going to try to get the physical. But at least there will be the digital, so I can at least play the games. But I don't like what they're doing with that. But anyway, let's end on some good news. A game was announced this week sort of out of nowhere. Don't really think anybody was really expecting it. I wasn't expecting it. A brand new Hyrule Warriors game is coming in November. Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. And it takes place 100 years before Breath of the Wild. Which, as you know, from Breath of the Wild, the lead up to Breath of the Wild is in the events of 100 years ago. So when Link awakens from the Shrine of Resurrection, it's because he has spent the last century recovering from fatal wounds he sustained in the battle from 100 years ago. So this is a prequel that's going to show us the events that happened before or during the rise of the Calamity. The great calamity that occurred that, destroyed Hyrule Castle, where Ganon officially took over Hyrule. And, the malice spread everywhere. So this is an interesting, decision here to sort of, I guess, whet the appetites of people who are looking forward to the Breath of the Wild sequel that I'm guessing is coming out next summer. That's going to be my guess. Wouldn't surprise me. I think next year should be the 5th anniversary of Breath of the Wild. I think. Let me check that. Want to be sure. It's the 4th or the 5th. If it's the 5th, I think it'll make a little bit more sense to do it like here's the sequel to this game from 5 years ago. So let me see what the internet says. Because the internet's always right. We know this. The 4th. Okay, I was wrong. It did seem kind of like 5 was a little bit too. It couldn't have been. March 3rd, 2017. Okay, so. Anyway. So this is going to be a prequel. It's going to show us what happened in the 100 years before Link had to take his century nap and become Rip Van Winkle. But, this is interesting. I thought the last I had seen about Hyrule Warriors was I thought Nintendo had let the copyright or the trademark go. Because I remember that was a thing. People were like, really? They didn't want to renew Hyrule Warriors? It's weird. I mean, I know that the original Hyrule Warriors is in deluxe form. Deluxe edition is on the Switch. I guess it did well. Otherwise, they wouldn't be making a second one. But, I think this is interesting. We'll get some more lore. Like, Breath of the Wild is very lore heavy. And it relies a lot on, like, the past Zelda games, too, to fuel its lore. Like, the fact that Ganon, like, only starting with Skyward Sword did the actual, in-game lore start referencing the fact that, well, maybe not. Maybe it was Twilight Princess. But anyway, the point of Breath of the Wild is that in Hyrule and Breath of the Wild, the people of Hyrule, the Hyrule royal family, are very much aware that Ganon is a demon who reincarnates himself. Like in Ocarina of Time, that wasn't the case. In Wind Waker, that wasn't the case. I think they may have hinted at it in Twilight Princess, and then they full on, explain and show why he's a reincarnation, in Skyward Sword. But in this game, they acknowledge that Ganon is a beast that reincarnates after time. That even if you kill him, he's still going to come back. Which has me, figuring out that what the plot of the sequel, started to say second, said sequel, of the sequel is going to be. Because I think that, because remember, there were 2 wars covered in Breath of the Wild. The original tale that was told of the hero who defeated Ganon with the help of the Guardians in the war from 10,000 years ago, and then Ganon's eventual return 100 years before the events of Breath of the Wild in the Great Calamity. Because remember, they had anticipated Ganon returning. They had defeated him, and he was gone. So they anticipated Ganon would return, because he always does, according to the mythology of Zelda. So that's what they started trying to excavate the Guardians and learn how to use them, and so that if Ganon returned, they would have these ultimate weapons that had defeated him in the past, there to help them. But the whole twist was that Ganon reemerged from beneath the castle and took over the Guardians and turned their greatest weapon into their biggest enemy. So I think, but this isn't, well, let me finish talking about this. I'm sure we'll get some pieces of lore that are new to this that will help us fill in some more pieces, of the puzzle. Plus, it's Hyrule Warriors. I really liked the first Hyrule Warriors. It was really fun to play. It's not your traditional Zelda game, of course. It's Dynasty Warriors, but with Zelda characters. And in this case, you'll get to use all the Guardians. So they're all alive at this point. They haven't been killed yet. But that's interesting, to note, because in Breath of the Wild, all of these characters except Zelda and Link die, although, of course, Link suffers a fatal injury. And I've seen people reference, how is this going to end? Is the final mission of this game going to be like I remember from, what was it? One of the Halo games where the character you play as decides to stay back and fight and hold off the enemy while his allies escape or something like that. And the final mission of the game is just survive, and you just play until you lose in an endless fight. And eventually you just get overwhelmed and you lose, and that's how the game ends. Because that's the story. The story is this character dies in battle, and once you hit that certain point of where you lose your health, it cuts into a cinematic of you dying. So I think that would be actually a cool way to end this game. But anyway, to get back onto my point, I think, and I've said this on Twitter, I think what you're going to see is that in the original war from 10,000 years ago, is that since these characters are all now very much aware that Ganon reincarnates and that this is a problem and that no matter how many times they defeat him, he's going to always come back, I think that the people of Hyrule from 10,000 years ago decided to try to end the reincarnation cycle by capturing Ganon, or in this case, Ganondorf, because we know that's who's in the sequel trailer. They tried to leave Ganondorf trapped in a state between life and death, where he's not alive, so he can't, so the theory is that he's in this in-between state between life and death. He's not alive, so he can't hurt people, but he's not dead, so he can't reincarnate. So it's like they've trapped him in this in-between state to where he's alive but not dead, or he's not alive but he's not, completely dead, or he's dead but also, or his body has been rendered, useless and withered and worn and decayed, but he's not actually completely dead. So, he can't reincarnate if he's alive, but he's not actually dead either. So, it's an attempt to obstruct the reincarnation cycle. And that's why he appeared from beneath the castle. He's trapped beneath the castle in this in-between state, and his spirit the malice from within Ganondorf, pours out of him, and it appears he tries to create himself a new host body or something like that. And that the Calamity Ganon you defeat in the castle is just another Blight Ganon, just another puppet Ganon, if you will, for him to do his evil deeds with a shadowy monstrosity that he created himself because he cannot physically act. And then that took the form of Dark Beast Ganon, which I don't know. I had assumed that was Ganon's, of course, true form. It's pure malice, but it may just be his malice energy, because the Dark Beast Ganon that appears in Breath of the Wild does look like a monster formed of pure energy. And it is pure malice, so it may not be a full physical beast like we've seen in the past. That's an interesting theory there. But I do think that's the strong direction they're leading into, is that in Breath of the Wild, they wanted to end the reincarnation cycle. Therefore, they tried to set Ganondorf up in a way that leaves him, immobile, incapable of moving, incapable of acting, but it doesn't kill him. He's undead. He's not dead, and he's not alive. So you can't reincarnate, if you're, can't reincarnate if you're both alive and dead at the same time. So, and my guess is that they did not anticipate that. Is the reason all that stuff was is because Ganondorf's malice, either through his own choosing or through a consequence of rendering Ganondorf in that state, will be that it allowed his malice to literally just ooze out and take a life of its own, or that'll be an interesting to see whether or not the malice outbreak of the Calamity was actually willed by Ganon, or if it was just a byproduct of the fact that he was trapped in this in-between state between life and death. So that'll be interesting to see. But I think that's what they're doing. But anyway, this game comes out in November. This is going to be the big holiday thing. It's actually pretty interesting, because the big Mario celebration is going to be going on through March. So the big titles for this year for Nintendo for the holidays will be Zelda and Mario. Granted, it's a collection of old Mario games and a new Zelda game that's not a true Zelda game, but it's part of the Zelda story. I mean, I say it's not a true Zelda game, and what I mean by that is it's just not, it's not traditional Zelda. It's, I don't know whether they call it like a side game or anything like that, because it is directly tied to the story. Like, this is part of the Breath of the Wild story. It's just not being told within, it's just not titled The Legend of Zelda. So, anyway, I'm looking forward to this game. I think it'll be fun. But, that's all I got today. I'm looking forward to some of these games. I hate that some of the games got pushed back. Or, in Kingdom Hearts' case, they're just not going to do it. A lot of good stuff out there. One other thing I guess I can mention about this is the idea, I've talked about Smash a few times and who should and shouldn't be in Smash. This will be 100 years in the past, so we'll likely get to see some versions of, people were pointing out Impa. Because remember, Impa's an old lady in Breath of the Wild who's been around for a long, long time. So she will likely appear in a younger form, who probably will fight alongside Link and Zelda and the other champions in this game. And I've said before, one of the characters I think that should be added to the Zelda, for a Zelda rep, should be Impa from the original Hyrule Warriors. But I assume this will be a brand new take on Impa if she is in this game, because we did not see a younger Impa that I can remember in Breath of the Wild. So if they use her in this, then hey, That would be more Zelda rep that they could add to Smash. So that'll be interesting to see what they do in that regard. But anyway, that's all I got on this for the show. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. I haven't figured out what I'm doing for my YouTube channel this week yet. Since tomorrow is the official anniversary of Super Mario Brothers, I want to stream something tomorrow. I may not. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do. I already streamed a little bit of Mario All-Stars the other day when they announced the 3D collection, so not sure what I'll do. I want to do something, but I got to figure it out. But I may, since Mario Sunshine and 64 and Galaxy are coming out on the 18th, which is just 6 days away, I'm working on getting the very few pictures, but videos that I've made for Sunshine up on YouTube. I want to get those out so I can start, I've already said this, I'm gonna play through Super Mario Sunshine in the 3D All-Stars collection up to the point that I stopped when I was playing it on emulator, and we'll continue that playthrough in the Switch version, because I think people will enjoy seeing it in widescreen more than they will, with the partial, the black bars on the side, because that's the original aspect ratio. But anyway, I'm looking forward to doing that. Still trying to figure stuff out on other things. Still got to work on the next Deadpool show episode. I've got some of that footage done. What else? I'm trying to start doing like Mugen videos. Some of those are pretty popular. I have 1 or 2 of those on my YouTube channel, and one of them, that was a request from somebody, still gets views occasionally. So I want to start doing random battles where I just pit random characters against each other. So I've got 3 of those on YouTube now already. I just haven't dropped them yet. I'm trying to figure out what the best way to do that will be. Either just do it randomly, or like do it at a specific time. Like I thought about doing like a Mugen Mondays kind of thing, and like every Monday at a particular time, drop a new Mugen video. I don't know. Trying to figure out different ideas for what to do with the channel. But anyway, so appreciate you watching, listening. Subscribe to my Twitch page and my YouTube page. Still want to try to. I haven't got to stream any games because I've been too busy. But do that. You can donate to the channel through. There's a PayPal link, but then there's also a Ko-fi link if you want to do it that way. Any support is always appreciated. But that's going to do it for the show. Hope you enjoyed. And we will see you next time. Until then, later.
Do the Mario swing your arms from side to side. Come on, it's time to go. Do the Mario. Take one step and then again. Let's do the Mario all together now. You got it. It's the Mario. Do the Mario. Swing your arms from side to side. Come on, it's time to go. Do the Mario. Take one step and then again. Let's do the Mario all together now. Come on now.